Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another video to continue our UCAT test preparation. If you're new to this channel, you can watch our last videos on tour tutorial of UCAT test preparation, question bank tutorials, and practice questions of verbal reasoning and decision making questions. We have completed our first section of quantitative reasoning. This is the second one. We will complete it today and start the next third section. So without any further delay, let's start our question number 25 of section 2, quantitative reasoning, which says the table is used to calculate the weighted competitive strengths of company B and compare it with the weighted competitive strengths of company R, which operates in the same business sector. So some ratings and weighted scores are missing. So here we have this table with these informations. The question is, what is the weighting given to innovation expressed as a percentage? So here we have these options. First, option A we have is 0.125%, option B 0.05%, option C 1.25%, and option D is 5%. Option E 12.5%. Then we have a correct response is option D, as a weightage equals to 0.25 divided by 5 multiplied by 100 equals 0.05 multiplied by 100 equals 5%. So that's how we have a correct option is option D, which is 5% is weighting given to innovation and expressed as a percentage. Next we have question number 26. The question is saying with the same statement, here you can see, and with the same table. And the question is that what weighted score did the company R receive for technology? Option A 0.162, option B 0.3, and option C is 0.45, option D 0.6, and option E is 0.65. So the correct response is option C, as the technology weightage based on company P equals 0.9 by 6 multiplied by 100 equals 15%. Hence, technology weighted score for company R equals 0.15 multiplied by 3 equals 0.45. So the correct response is option C, that 0.45 will be the weighted score that company R receive for technology. Next we have a same statement with the same table and the information given. And the question is that the mean weighted score for company P is 0.63. What weighted score did company P receive for reputation? Option A 0.4, option B 0.5, option C 0.6, option D 0.7, option E 0.8. So here we have a correct response is option E. Let X be the weighted score for reputation. That 0.8 plus X plus 0.9 plus 0.4 plus 0.25 divided by 5 equals 0.235 plus X, which is equals to 3.15, and X equals to 3.15 minus 2.35 equals 0.8. So the correct response is option E, which is 0.8. So the next question we have is question number 28 with the same passage as you can see here and the same data table. The question is, which of the following statements about the strength rating that company R received for customer service and innovation is true? Option A, they are both 1. Option B, they are both 2. Option C, the rating for innovation is 4 times the rating for customer service. Option D, the rating for innovation is 2 less than the rating for customer service. Option E, the rating for customer service is greater than the rating for innovation. So let's see which one is the correct option. So here we have a correct response is option C, as the customer service weightage equals 0.4 by 2 equals 0.2. Innovation weightage equals 0.25 by 5 equals 0.05. Since the weighted scores for the two for company R are the same, the relationship between the weights is the relationship between the ratings. So we have 0.2 is 4 multiplied by 0.05. So 0.4 by 2 equals 0.2. So let X be the strength rating for customer service in company R. 0.2 divided by X equals 0.2, which is X equals 1. So 0.25 divided by 4 equals 0.05. Let Y be the rating for innovation in company R. 0.2 by Y equals 0.05. So Y equals 4. Y is 4 times X. So rating for innovation is 4 times the rating for customer service. That's how we have a correct response is option C, which says the rating for innovation is 4 times the rating for customer service. Next we have question number 25. It says government spending on health services and social protection was $120 billion and $190 billion respectively for year X. So in the same year, government spending on debt interest was 33.33% of the spending on health services. And the spending on health services, social protection and debt interest constituted 50% of the total spending by the government. And the question is, what was the government's approximate total spending for year X? Option A, $350 billion. Option B, $670 billion. Option C, $680 billion. Option D, $700 billion. Option E, $725 billion. So the correct response is option D, is the government spending on health services equals $120 billion. The government spending on debt interest equals 0.33 multiplied by $120 billion equals $39.996 billion. The sum of spending on health services, social protection, and debt interest equals 120 plus 190 plus 39.996 equals $349.996 billion. The total government spending equals 349.996x 996 multiplied by 100 divided by 50 equals $699.992 billion. That's how we have a correct option is option D, which is $700 billion. This was the government's approximate total spending for year X. Next we have question number 30. It says the graph shows responses when asked what finger they use to type the space bar on the keyboard of a computer. Typing space bar, alternating thumb 52, right thumb 63, both together 58, and then we have left thumb 65. The question is that among all respondents, only 40% of those who said left thumb and 50% of those who said alternating thumb were self-taught typists. How many respondents were self-taught typists? Option A 38, option B 42, option C 46, option D 52, option E 55. So let's see which one is the correct one. So here we have correct response is D, that the respondents who voted for left thumb is 65, and the respondents who voted for left thumb and are self-taught equals 0.4 multiplied by 65 equals 26. The respondents who voted for alternating thumb equals 52. The respondents who voted for alternating thumb and are self-taught equals 0.5 multiplied by 52 equals 26 respondents. The number who are self-taught equals 26 plus 26 equals 52. So here we have a correct response is option D, that is 52 were the respondents who self-taught typists. Next question is, the table shows the price of different types of passes at a community swimming pool. Swimming pass fee, and then we have a pass, member pass in pounds, visitor pass in pounds. And the question is, in 1 month, Brianna bought 18 daily member passes and 1 member 12 swim pass for herself. She also bought 18 daily visitor passes and 1 visitor 12 swim pass for her friend. What is the total amount of money she would have saved had she bought 1 member monthly pass and 1 visitor monthly pass instead? Option A 108 pounds, option B 118 pounds, option C 131 pounds, option D 149 pounds, option E 173 pounds. So the correct response is option D, as a member pass for 18 days cost Brianna equals 4 pounds multiplied by 18 equals 72 pounds. A member 12 swim pass cost Brianna 28 pounds. A visitor pass for 18 days costs equals 6 pounds multiplied by 18 equals 108 pounds. A visitor 12 swim pass costs 39 pounds. So total cost for Brianna equals 72 pounds plus 28 pounds. plus 108 pounds plus 39 pounds equals 247 pounds. Total cost for Brianna if she had bought a monthly pass for their respective categories equals 43 pounds plus 55 pounds equals 98 pounds. So total money that Brianna would have saved if she had bought the respective monthly passes equals 247 minus 98, which is equals to 149 pounds. So that's how we can say the correct response is option D, which is 149 pounds is the total amount of money she would have saved had she bought one member monthly pass and one visitor monthly pass. Next we have the chart shows the duet sizes a furnishing company makes. Duet size, first we have duet, double, king, super king, parrot. Then we have the sizes in meters. And the question is, Jack bought a double duet and Amaya bought a super king duet. The manufacturing cost for a double duet is 50p per meter squares, and that for a super king duet is 55 pounds per meter square. The market cost is 2.50 pounds per meter squares for both. Approximately how much more did Maya pay for her duet than Jack? 100p equals to 1 pounds. So option A we have 2.34 pounds. Option B 3.48 pounds. Option C 4.82 pounds. Option D 5.45 pounds. Option E 6.20 pounds. So the correct response is option D. The price of the double duet equals to cost of manufacturing plus cost of material, which is equals to 0.50 pounds multiplied by 2 plus 2.50 pounds multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 equals 2 pounds plus 10 pounds equals 12 pounds. Price of supermarket king duet equals cost of manufacturing plus cost of material equals 0.55 pounds multiplied by 2.60 multiplied by 2.20 plus 2.50 pounds multiplied by 2.60 multiplied by 2.20 pounds equals 3.146 pounds plus 14.3 pounds equals 17.446 pounds. And the difference is 17.446 pounds minus 12 pounds, which is equals to 5.446 pounds, approximately 5.45 pounds. So here we have a correct response is option D, that 5.45 pounds Maya paid for her to weigh more than Jack. Next question we have that a group of people were asked to taste some paper soaked in a weak solution of the chemical PTC. The table gives some information about the results. So here we have this table. Women, men, girls, boys can taste PTC and those who cannot taste PTC. And the question is, of the adults in the group, what percentage correct to one decimal place can taste PTC? Option A 40.0%, option B 40.8%, option C 57.2%, option D 58.0%, option E 59.1%. So let's see which one is the correct option and which one is incorrect. So option C is correct. It's 35 plus 72 plus 20 plus 60 equals 187. So 35 plus 72 equals 107 into 107 divided by 187 multiplied by 100, which is equals 57.2%. So that's how we have a correct response is option C, that is 57.2% is the percentage correct to one decimal place that can taste PTC. Next question, we have a same statement with the same table. And the question is 3 by 5 of the women who can taste PTC and 7 by 12 of the men who can taste PTC do not drink coffee. So what percentage correct to one decimal place of the adults who can taste PTC do not drink coffee? Option A 33.7%, option B 41.1%, option C 43.9%, option D 58.9%, and option E 66.3%. So the correct response is option B, as the 35 women and 72 men can taste PTC. So 3 by 5 of women who can taste PTC is 21. 35 divided by 5 equals 7 multiplied by 3 equals 21. So 7 by 12 of men who can taste PTC is 42 into 72 divided by 12 equals 6 multiplied by 7 equals 42. So in total this is 42 plus 21 equals 63 adults who can taste PTC and do not drink coffee. As a percentage, this is 63 divided 107 equals 0.588 multiplied by 100, 58.9% to one decimal place. Therefore, the percentage of those that can taste PTC but do drink coffee is 100% minus 58.9% equals 41.1 percentage. So here we have a correct response is option B, that 41.1 percentage is the correct to one decimal place of the adults who can taste PTC to drink coffee. Next question again we have with the same statement and with the same information given in the table. And the question is that if 10% of the men who said they can not taste PTC could in fact taste BTC at higher concentrations. So what would be the ratio of the men who can taste BTC to men who cannot taste BTC at higher concentrations? Option A, 39:25. Option B, 39:27. Option C, 39:30. Option D, 41:25. Option E, 41:30. So the correct response is option B, and 78:54 equals 39:27. 60 divided by 10 equals 6. 72 plus 6 equals 78, and 60 minus 6 equals 54. That's how we can say correct response is option B, which is 39:27 would be the ratio of men who can taste PTC to men who cannot taste PTC at higher concentrations. Next question we have with the same statement and same information given in the table. And the question is, a population of 100,000 people is equally divided between men, women, boys, and girls. Use the data in the table to estimate the number correct to 4 significant figures of people in the population who can taste PTC. Option A, 40,020. Option B, 41,980. Option C, 58,020. Option D, 58,610. Option E is 59,980. So the correct response is option E. 35 divided by 55 multiplied by 25,000 plus 72 divided by 132 multiplied by 25,000 plus 18 by 28 multiplied by 25,000 plus 27 by 47 multiplied by 25,000 equals 59,980. So option E is the correct response, that 59,980 is the correct to four significant figures of people in the population who can taste PTC. So this is the last question we have in this section. So let's move towards our next section, which is section 3 of quantitative reasoning. So let's have some introductions first, then we will continue with some examples. You are presented with questions that most often refer to charts and graphs containing data. Most questions are shown as sets of 4 questions, each connected to the same data. There are some questions that stand alone and do not share data. So each question has 5 answer options. You are only able to select one response. Click the next button to proceed. So here we have a first question out of 36, and the statement is that the population of the state of an age increased greatly over 250 years. This growth has resulted in the development of certain towns. Below are selected population statistics. So population of selected towns in NH, that is to nearest 1000. So here we have Ellsworth, Halsworth, Pobble, Boston, Waring. In 1751, 1801, 1851, 1901, 1951, and then we have in 2001. So here we have the information in the given in the table. So in 1951, the total population of Inage was 16.8 million people, of which 49% lived in towns. Approximately how many of Inage's population lived in towns? Approximately how many of Inage's population lived in towns in 1951? So here we have option A is 8.03 million, option B 8.13 million, option C 8.23 million, option D 8.33 million, and option E is 8.43 million. So the correct response is option C, as this is because 49% of 16.8 million people. That is 16 into 800,000 multiplied by 0.49 equals 8232,000 equals 8.23 million. So the correct response we have is C, 8.23 million is India's population that is lived in towns in 1951. So here we have a same statement with the same information given in the table, and the question is that what is the mean of the number of people living in all 5 towns in 1901. So here we have option A as 1,67,000, option B 2,03,000, option C 2,38,500, option D 2,74,000, option E 3,09,000. So option A is the correct option. This is because the total population of all 5 towns is 174,000 plus 123,000. It's 98,000 plus 202,000 plus 238,000, which equals 835,000. This figure divided by the number of towns equals 167,000. That's how we can say the correct option we have is the option A. So 1,67,000 is the mean of the number of people living in all 5 towns in 1901. Next we have question number 3 with the same statement and the same information given in the table. The question is, in 2001, which town's population gives the median figure for the 5 towns? Option A, Ellsworth, option B, Halsworth, option C, Pobble, option D, Watson, option E, Wearing. So correct response is option D. This is because placed in order, the populations of the towns in 2001 are 128,000, 329,000, 424,000, 445,000, 472,000. So the median value is 424,000. So the town is Boston. So here we have a correct option is option D, that is Boston is the town's population that gives the median figure for the 5 towns in 2001. Next again we have same statement, same data, and the question is, what is the mode for the size of the populations of the 5 towns in the period 1851 to 1951? Option A we have 53,000, Option B 74,000. Option C 82,000. Option D 174,000. Option E 238,000. The correct response is option D. This is because 174,000 appears the most in the data set for 1851, 1901, and 1951. So here we have correct response is option D, that is 174,000 is the mode for the size of populations of the five towns in the period 1851 to 1951. Next question we have that the winner of a council election in April resides in July and a new election is held in September. There are no changes in the number of people entitled to vote between April and September. So, how people voted in September? Party A, B, C did not vote. That's how we have a data in this table, like this is given. And the question is that by reading across the diagram, you can see the number of voters supporting a party in April and how the same people voted in September. No one had died or left the district. To learn how people who voted for a particular party in September had voted in April, read down the column. The total September vote is given at the bottom of each column, including any votes gained in September from people who had not voted in April. Rounded to the nearest whole number, what percentage of those entitled to vote supported the losing parties in September? Option A 29%, option B 30%, option C 32%, option D 55%, option E 56%. So the correct response we have is option A. This is because party C won with 711 votes. Party A received 494 and party B received 382. So 1413 people did not vote. The total number of people who voted for losing parties is 494 plus 382 equals 876. This figure divided by the total number of eligible votes, 711 plus 494 plus 382 plus 1413 equals 3000, is approximately 29%. So that's how we have a correct option is option A, which is 29%. Is the percentage of those entitled to vote supported the losing parties in September. Now again we have a same statement given with the same data in the table, as you can see here. And the question is, round it to the nearest whole number if necessary. What percentage of those who actually voted in April supported the winning party? Option A, 18%. Option B, 20%. Option C, 24%. Option B, 32%. Option E, 36%. So correct response we have is option E, as this is because party A won with 540 votes. The total number of voters was 540 plus 520 plus 440 equals 1500. Therefore, 540 divided by 1500 equals 36 percentage. So option A is the correct response, that 36% of those who actually voted in April supported the winning party. Next, we have the same information given here in the data table, and the question is, which party, or you can say parties, won the two election contests April 1st, then September? Option A, twice. Option B, C twice. Option C, A then B. Option D, option C, A then B. Option D, A then C. Option E, B then C. So here we have correct response is option D, as this is because party A won in April with 540 votes and party C won in September with 711 votes. So option D, which is A then C, is the party who won the two election contests, that is April 1st then September, is the correct option. Next we have a question that says the percentage of people entitled to vote who actually did vote in April was option A, 45%, option B, 50%, option C, 55%, option D, 60%, and option E, 65%. So correct response we have is option B. This is because the total number turned out is 540 plus 520 plus 440, which equals 1500. The eligible voters for April is this figure plus 1500, which equals 3000. So the percentage of people entitled to vote is then 1500 divided by 3000 multiplied by 100, which equals 50%. So that's how we have a correct response is option B, which is 50% is the percentage of people that is entitled to vote in April. Next question is that On an Antarctic expedition, essential supplies are transported by sledge. Each sledge team consists of 2 dogs and a human dog handler. A sledge can carry a maximum load of 150 kg. Essential supplies for a 4-day journey are 40 kg for the handler and 10 kg for each dog. Journeys are measured in days, and one day's journey covers 15 km. The location of camps and distances between them are shown in the plan. So here we have this camp 1 to camp 2 3 days, camp 2 to camp 3 1 day, camp 3 to camp 4 we have 3 days, 4 to 5 we have 2 days, 5 to 6 it has 4 days, 6 to 1 again 2 days. So the distance between camp 1 and camp 5 when traveling in a clockwise direction is approximately option A 90 km, option B 120 km, option C 135 km, option D 160 km, option E 270 kilometers. So the correct response we have is option C, that is distance between camp 1 and camp 2 is 3 days multiplied by 15 km per day equals 45 km. Distance between camp 2 and camp 3 we choose 1 day multiplied by 15 kilometers equals 15 km. Distance between camp 3 and camp 4 3 days multiplied by 15 km per day equals 45 km. Distance between camp 4 and camp 5 equals 2 days multiplied by 15 km equals 30 kilometers. So total distance equals 45 plus 15 plus 45 plus 30 equals 135 kilometers. So here we have option C is the correct option. 135 km is the distance between camp 1 and camp 5 when traveling in a clockwise direction. Next question, again we have the same information as you can see here. You can take a look at this one, and then we have the same path on a distance map. You can see like this, and the question is the shortest distance between camp 6 and base camp is approximately. Here we have this base camp. So option A we have is 25 km, option B 30 km, option C 34 km, option D 37 km, and option E we have is 45 km. In the question they asked the shortest distance between camp 6 and base camp is approximately. So here we have camp 6 and here we have base camp, but they tell the distance camp 6 and between camp 1 is 2 days. So we have to calculate the distance between camp 6 and this base camp. So let's see which one is the correct option and which one is the incorrect one. So here we have a correct response is option C. To answer this, first we must imagine that the plan we are shown in a rectangle. The width of the rectangle, as can be seen by looking at the distance from camp 1 to camp 2, that is 3 days, and then from camp 2 to 4, that is 3 days, is 6 days in total. So the height of the rectangle, as can be seen from camp 2 to camp 3, is 1 day, and camp 4 to camp 5 is 2 days, is 3 days in total. So at the bottom of the imaginary rectangle, the distance from camp 5 to 6 is 4 days. Therefore, the remaining part of this side of the rectangle is 6 days minus 4 days equals 2 days. So the distance from base camp to camp 1 is 2 days. Therefore, the remaining part of this side of the imaginary rectangle is 3 days minus 2 days equals 1 day. So as the distance from camp 6 to base camp is along a diagonal line, we can imagine a right-angled triangle in this part of the plan. We can then use Pythagorean theorem to calculate the distance along the diagonal. A square plus b square equals c square. So 2 days multiplied by 2 plus 1 day multiplied by 1 equals 5. 5, then when we will take 5 square root, it equals 2.24 days. So total distance from camp 6 to base camp equals 2.24 days multiplied by 15 kilometer per day equals 33.6 kilometer or approximately 34 kilometer. So that's how we can say that the correct option we have is option C, that is 34 kilometer, which is the shortest distance between camp 6 and base camp. Between this camp 6 and base camp, 36 kilometer is the shortest distance. 34 kilometers, sorry, is the shortest distance. So I hope this is enough for today. We will continue our next questions in the next video. I hope you guys understand each and every question. If you have any confusion, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be back with another video. Till then, just take care and goodbye.